Hey guys, it's Drew again. I wanted to do a couple of video responses for a couple of great channels out there. First for Darren, Return to Collecting, and also for Brian at Hodges 1455. So let's check them out. So Darren over at Return to Collecting wanted us to shout out a few channels that were under 200 subs and just to give them some love. And, you know, for Darren and me and a lot of other guys that have been around for a year or so, you know, we've grown because of the support within this community and the shout outs. And I got some great ones when I first started making those bonds and making those connections. And it really helped grow the channel. Not that I cared about the numbers as much, but the more people that are watching your stuff and sub to your stuff, the more friends you can have. And it's just been a great ride and a great journey. So I wanted to give a couple channels out. So first I want to talk about Hammer 44, and all the link to all of these channels will be in the description below. But Hammer 44 puts out great videos. He doesn't put out a ton of them, but he's really well thought out and just a great great commenter and really good part of this community. Next one is Godlike Collectibles, and I've been watching his stuff. I don't comment constantly on his stuff. He collects a lot of stuff that I don't always collect, but he's got a passion and he's really just trying to get in there and show off his stuff. He seemed kind of nervous at first when he was first doing videos of putting stuff out there, but he's gotten into a groove a little bit. So check him out and give him a little bit of a like and just see what he's got to offer. Next would be Collector Not Hoarder, and just another great channel, and puts out some really good content and a really good collection, and you really got to check him out. The next one would be Pastor Craig's Cards, and Pastor Craig is he's only been on for about a month, and he's just got a heart. He's got a storytelling that I really appreciate, and he's just been a good part, a new addition to this community. And I know a lot of guys that have been around for a little bit. Chris from Missouri, Jake, Legends Never Die, myself, and other people have just connected to him, and he's just in there, and he's trying to fit in, but he's really enjoying this drive. And I think I can see in his videos and see in his comments that he's actually he's learning what it's like to be on YouTube, not as some sort of celebrity, which is silly to me, but rather just to take his collecting to a new level. It's something that we've experienced, have done this for a while, and it's really neat to see him coming through. So check out Pastor Craig's Cards. And another one is Scoot's Collectibles. And you know, he has under 100 subs. He's been around for a little bit. He puts out a lot of videos. They're usually fairly short. He's a huge Pittsburgh fan, Steelers and Pirates. And but he appreciates the encouragement, and just so check him out too. And then finally, the last one is who I'm going to do this next video response, which is Brian over at Hodges 1455. He's a great commenter. He's in a lot of chats, and he just he's got great stuff, and he loves this hobby. He loves the cards in his community, and so I wanted to give him a shout out as well. Now, before I get into what he wanted us to show off, Darren asked us to show off just a couple of random cards. It was more about the shout out, so I wanted to show a couple of things that I've never shown in my collection before. These are not like super and crazy cards. In fact, these are the cards that don't make the cases, and if you know what I mean, if you watch my channel. But these are just some really great cards, and I love to look at them for the art and the different aspects. And one is a 1952 Bowman Yogi Berra, and I just love this set. I love I really think that 52 went elevated to 51 as far as the art and just the way it was drawn and the shading and stuff like that. So here's a great example of a great card, and I wanted to show that one off. And then another one, a lot of people don't give this set much love, and I kind of understand why, but I still think it's definitely a part of our hobby, and that's the 1951 Topps Redback. And here's a Gil Hodges, and I actually really like these cards. I don't think I'd ever go for a set. I only have a couple of this in my collection, but I really enjoy the cards that take a black and white photo and spice them up by putting colorized around them. 48 or 49 Bowman, the 49 Leaf, and I really like that. And Gil Hodges is just one of my guys that I really enjoy. So going from the Gil Hodges, that is what we're going to fade into when we talk about Brian over at Hodges 1455. He's a big you know, the whole Brooklyn Dodger fan, and Gil Hodges was his guy, so I really appreciate that. So Brian, what he wanted us to talk about was he wanted us to show off a card that or talk about a great hitting pitcher. And you know, there's different guys with different stories and how we connect to them. So I'm going to show off somebody that probably you've never heard of, and he's he's a young guy. I mean, he's only in his 30s now, but he's not playing anymore. His name is Ethan Martin, and this is a card that came out for Ethan. This is the only one I have of him, and the reason that Ethan Martin that I'm showing him off was he's actually from the town that I live in. He graduated from the high school that my daughter currently goes to, and he was drafted by the Dodgers. He was in a trade and ended up on the Phillies. He came up into the majors, played for 2 seasons for the Phillies, both as a starter and a reliever. Not a stellar career as far as his numbers go if you look it up, but the thing about Ethan was he was a beast. I mean, we're in a tiny town in nowhere, Georgia, and he was absolutely a beast, both on the mound and at the plate. And when Ethan was playing in high school, the tales would go around about just the bombs that he was hitting or whatever, and it just shows the talent that it takes to be able to make the majors. And even though he didn't play a long career, he didn't put up massive numbers the way we look at him. It just goes to show that when somebody is good enough to make the major leagues, they are insane at the lower levels. And at the high school level, Ethan was absolutely insane. My only connection with him outside of the town I grew up in was I do remember, I think it was his senior year, that the baseball team was doing a fundraiser, and they were trying to raise money for new uniforms, and they went to a local grocery store and they were bagging groceries and helping people, for tips or whatever. And Ethan actually bagged my groceries and took it out to my car and put it in, and I shook his hand and just told him good luck in the future. And I don't know him personally, but I did go to a game in Atlanta when he was visiting there on the Phillies, and I remember a group of us guys were in the outfield and we all shouted out the high school name, and he turned around, looked up in the stands, and none of us knew him personally, but it was kind of fun to be able to do that. So I'm talking about Ethan Martin because he was an insane hitting pitcher at the high school level, even though he didn't make a Hall of Fame kind of career in the majors. But anyway, check out all these channels that I've listed. Like I said, all the titles are listed in the comments below, and just give some support and some love in this community. Go give these guys a sub. They may not all be for you, and that's okay, but there's nothing wrong with subbing them, checking them out once in a while, and leave a comment. It's really encouraging for them as much as I know it is for me. So anyway, I appreciate the time you guys give to me today. Oh, Darren, sorry, the card that I want to get into the drawing is, let's go with that pre-war one. Very low represented in my collection, and if I happen to win, then I'll take it. But anyway, I appreciate all the time you guys give, and until next time, you guys be good.